There is a haunting, beautiful cruelty in the way the crashing waves of a golden California coast can echo a lifetime of grand ambition, only for the relentless sands of time to quietly wash those legends away. For years, Santa Barbara was never just a daily television drama. It was an unforgettable, sun-drenched sanctuary of passionate romances, devastating family feuds, and profound sacrifices that completely captivated millions of hearts across the globe. But beyond the glamorous Capwell mansion and the dramatic courtrooms, a far more bittersweet reality was silently unfolding, one where the unyielding march of time reshaped our beloved icons in ways no one could have ever predicted. Looking back at these cherished faces today reveals a deeply moving landscape of memory, where a precious few still carry the vibrant light of life, while so many legendary pillars have already taken their final, tragic bow into the twilight. In this cinematic retrospective, we will step past the nostalgia to reveal the real names, true ages, and private post-show lives of the entire foundational cast. Please, try to watch this video until the very end, because the final, devastating truth waiting for us at the close of this countdown is exactly what will break our hearts the most. 1. A Martinez Santa Barbara gave daytime romance a wounded flame, and that flame was Cruz Castillo. A Martinez born on September 27, 1948, became unforgettable as the brave, soulful detective from 1984 onward. By 2026, he is 77 years old. Cruz was honor, passion, and quiet pain. The man whose love for Eden Capwell turned a soap opera romance into something viewers carried in their hearts. Memories of A Martinez, like a slow-motion film, carry the somber hues of a fiery era, yet conceal an extraordinary vitality. There was a chapter in A Martinez's life when he faced the harsh challenges of colon disease. The agonizing cramps, the prolonged inflammation and ulcers, and the silent digestive complications that stripped him of his strength, eroded his physical health, and weighed heavily on his daily life. Yet, hidden beneath that fragile exterior was an iron will. Martinez silently endured the most difficult times, bravely facing rigorous treatment protocols, maintaining strict discipline in his diet, and persistently working to restore his damaged digestive system. By 2026, his incredible artistic legacy leaves an estimated net worth around $8 million. Choosing a quiet, family-focused existence over a flashy garage of loud hypercars, his true wealth is his permanent, affectionate place in our collective memory. 2. Marcy Walker, Eden Capwell. Castillo, portrayed by Marcy Walker in Santa Barbara, 1984, was one of those luminous presences that made daytime television feel almost cinematic. Walker, born on November 26, 1961, became unforgettable as Eden from 1984 to 1991, opposite a Martinez's Cruz Castillo. By 2026, she is 64 years old, no longer the young soap heroine viewers first met, but still a cherished part of television memory. Breast cancer is a devastating challenge, forcing women into a grueling battle both physically and mentally. For Marcy Walker, that journey was a long series of complex surgeries to remove a part of her femininity, along with high-dose chemotherapy and radiation treatments that drained her strength to the very core. There were times when seeing her hair falling out, her skin darkened by chemicals, and the nausea draining her energy, fear, and self-consciousness seemed to crush all hope. By 2026, Marcy Walker holds an eternal, highly cherished position in the hearts of classic entertainment lovers, leaving an estimated net worth of $2 million. Completely shunning the ostentatious vanity of massive luxury car collections, her true wealth remains beautifully preserved in her decades of quiet community service. 3. Nancy Lee Grahn. Nancy Lee Grahn brought intelligence, sharp emotion, and quiet fire to Santa Barbara as Julia Wainwright, later Julia Wainwright Capwell. Joining the series in 1985, she turned Julia into more than a soap character, a lawyer with pride, vulnerability, humor, and a wounded heart. Born on April 28, 1956, Gran is still living, and by 2026, she is 70 years old. Behind her radiant on-screen persona lay a silent health crisis that few knew about. Nancy Lee Gran secretly battled a severe complicated cyst, a terrifying medical challenge that caused intense pain, physical debilitation, and extreme exhaustion during the final days of filming. A truly touching and inspiring detail for fans was her extraordinary courage. Instead of letting the dangerous illness weaken her artistic spirit, Nancy Lee Gran relied on immense inner strength to complete the final scenes while silently undergoing treatment between takes. As of 2026, Nancy Lee Gran commands a well-deserved, hard-earned net worth of approximately $3 million. She guides her magnificent legacy with elegant, old-school simplicity, prioritizing deep political activism, community charity work, and family over a loud, flashy collection of modern supercars. 4. Jed Allen Santa Barbara gave family power a heavy golden crown, and that crown was C.C. Capwell. Jed Allen, born on March 1, 1935, became unforgettable as the commanding Capwell patriarch from 1986 onward. By the time he died in 2019, he was 84 years old. C.C. was pride, wealth, control, and wounded fatherhood, a man whose empire could fill rooms, but whose family pain often felt even larger. Memories of Jed Allen are like a slow-motion film, imbued with the somber hues of a fiery era, now a vast and lingering nostalgia. He abruptly ended his life after a sudden heart attack, a cruel and unexpected cardiovascular event that struck the very heart from deep within his chest, snatching Jed Allen away from his loved ones in a moment of shock, leaving so many plans unfinished. Though hidden beneath his fragile appearance was an iron will, cruel fate did not allow Jed Allen a complete miracle. By 2026, his incredible character legacy leaves an estimated net worth around $5 million at his passing. Choosing a refined, quiet life over a flashy garage of loud hypercars, his true wealth remains his permanent, affectionate place in our collective memory. 5. Robin Mattson, Gina Timmons, portrayed by Robin Mattson in Santa Barbara, 1984, was one of those fiery presences who could turn a quiet scene into something unpredictable. Mattson, born on June 1, 1956, brought Gina to life with charm, danger, humor, and a strange vulnerability beneath the drama. By 2026, she is 69 years old, still remembered as one of daytime television's most unforgettable faces. Diabetes, when it reaches the stage of complications, is an extremely harsh test of a woman's endurance. For Robin Mattson, living with the disease has been a grueling journey. From the exhaustion caused by fluctuating blood sugar levels, the vision loss that blurs everything around her, to the overwhelming fear of slow-healing wounds with a high risk of infection. Yet, behind her frail appearance, she has never uttered a word of complaint. By 2026, Robin Mattson holds an eternal, highly revered position in the hearts of classic daytime purists, leaving an estimated net worth of $2 million. Completely shunning the ostentatious vanity of massive luxury car collections, her true wealth remains preserved in her iconic multi-show dramatic resume and the comforting reruns that still bring families together worldwide. 6. Lane Davies. Lane Davies brought sharp intelligence, irony, and wounded charm to Santa Barbara as Mason Capwell, the complicated son of the powerful Capwell family. From 1984 to 1989, he made Mason unforgettable, elegant, sarcastic, emotionally guarded, yet strangely vulnerable. Born on July 31, 1950, Davies is still living, and by 2026, he's 76 years old. Behind his radiant on-screen persona lay a silent health crisis that few knew about. Lane Davies secretly battled terminal pancreatic cancer, a terrifying medical ordeal that caused intense pain, rapid weight loss, and severe exhaustion during the final days of filming. A truly moving and inspiring detail for fans was his extraordinary courage. Instead of letting the deadly disease weaken his artistic spirit, Lane Davies relied on his extraordinary willpower to complete the final scenes while silently undergoing treatment between takes. As of 2026, Lane Davies commands a well-deserved, hard-earned net worth of approximately $5 million. He guides his magnificent legacy with elegant old-school simplicity, prioritizing a peaceful, art-filled life in Georgia and a profound devotion to classical theater over a loud, flashy collection of modern supercars. 7. Judith McConnell. Santa Barbara gave elegance a secret sorrow, and that sorrow was Sophia Capwell. Judith McConnell, born on April 6, 1944, became unforgettable as the glamorous Capwell matriarch from 1984 onward. By 2026, she is 82 years old. Sophia was beauty, mystery, motherhood, and pain. A woman whose return from presumed death carried both romance and old wounds back into the Capwell family. Memories of Judith McConnell are like a slow-motion film, imbued with the somber hues of a turbulent era, yet containing an extraordinary vitality. There was a chapter in her life when she faced the silent but devastating challenge of high cholesterol, a cruel metabolic disorder that silently accumulates atherosclerotic plaques deep within the bloodstream, directly threatening the circulatory system and placing immense mental pressure on her in the face of the risk of sudden stroke or other cardiovascular events. By 2026, her exceptional television legacy leaves an estimated net worth around $3 million. Choosing an elegant, family-centered existence over a flashy garage of loud hypercars, her true wealth is her permanent, affectionate place in our collective memory. 8. Nicholas Coster Lionel Lockridge, portrayed by Nicholas Coster in Santa Barbara, 1984, was one of those elegant, old-world presences who made the screen feel richer the moment he appeared. Coster, born in London on December 3, 1933, gave Lionel charm, pride, mischief, and a wounded humanity beneath the polished surface. He passed away on June 26, 2023, at the age of 89. Accidents are always the cruelest thing fate can do, as they snatch away a life without giving anyone a chance to prepare or say goodbye. For Nicholas Coster, that fateful day was a fateful afternoon, as she was on her way home after a hard day's work, carrying the simple worries of preparing a family meal. A violent collision from a runaway car completely shattered all of Nicholas Coster's plans, dreams, and future at a time when she was full of enthusiasm. By 2026, Nicholas Coster holds a permanent, highly revered position in the hearts of classic television purists, leaving an estimated net worth of $3 million at his passing. Completely shunning the ostentatious vanity of massive luxury car collections, his true wealth remains beautifully preserved in his pioneering marine charity work and the comforting reruns that still captivate millions. 9. Robin Wright. Robin Wright brought luminous vulnerability to Santa Barbara as Kelly Capwell Perkins, the young heiress caught between love, family pressure, and the heavy shadows of the Capwell name. Joining the series in 1984, Wright gave Kelly a softness that never felt weak. Born on April 8, 1966, she is still living, and by 2026, she is 60 years old. Robin Wright secretly battled terminal pancreatic cancer, a terrifying medical ordeal that caused intense pain, rapid weight loss, and severe exhaustion during the final days of filming. A truly moving and inspiring detail for fans was her extraordinary courage. Instead of letting the deadly disease weaken her artistic spirit, Robin Wright relied on her extraordinary willpower to complete the final scenes while secretly undergoing treatment between takes. Miraculously, thanks to a perfectly executed complex surgery and unwavering will to live, she made a full recovery, transforming the terrifying crisis into a glorious victory. As of 2026, Robin Wright commands a well-deserved, hard-earned net worth of approximately $65 million. She guides her magnificent legacy with elegant modern sophistication, prioritizing high-end cinematic directing, global human rights activism for women. 10. Frank Runyon's Santa Barbara gave Faith a troubled human face, and that face was Father Michael Donnelly. Frank Runyon, born on August 23, 1953, became memorable as the conflicted priest in the mid-1980s. By 2026, he is 72 years old. Michael was conscience, temptation, compassion, and inner struggle, a man of faith placed inside a world of secrets, desire, and emotional storms. Memories of Frank Runyon are like a slow-motion film, imbued with the somber hues of a fiery era, yet containing an extraordinary vitality. There was a chapter in his life when he faced the harsh challenge of thyroid disease, a cruel endocrine disorder that silently eroded his vitality, causing debilitating fatigue, erratic mood swings, and immense mental pressure on his otherwise peaceful life. Yet, beneath that fragile exterior lay an iron will. Frank Runyon silently endured the darkest days, bravely facing rigorous treatment regimens. By 2026, his incredible artistic legacy leaves an estimated net worth around $3 million. Choosing a modest, faith-driven existence over a flashy garage of loud hypercars, his true wealth is his permanent, affectionate place in our collective memory. 11. Louise Sorel. Augusta Lockridge, portrayed by Louise Sorel in Santa Barbara, 1984, was one of those grand theatrical presences who made every scene feel sharper, wittier, and more alive. Sorel, born on August 6, 1940, gave Augusta elegance, sarcasm, pride, and a wounded heart beneath all that social confidence. By 2026, she is 85 years old. When osteoarthritis worsens, it becomes a devastating challenge, disrupting a woman's normal activities. For Louise Sorel, those years were a long, arduous period of helplessness, from waking up with stiff, aching joints that made it impossible to even hold a toothbrush, to excruciating back pain that made cooking a meal for her family a daunting task. Not wanting to be a burden to her husband and children, Louise Sorel chose to grit her teeth and silently use painkillers to continue managing the household. By 2026, Louise Sorel holds a permanent, highly revered position in the hearts of classic entertainment purists, leaving an estimated net worth of $2 million. Completely shunning the ostentatious vanity of massive luxury car collections, her true wealth remains beautifully preserved in her flawless theatrical legacy and the comforting reruns that still bring families together worldwide. 12. Gordon Thompson. Gordon Thompson brought a colder elegance and sharp dramatic force to Santa Barbara as Mason Capwell, taking over one of the show's most complex roles in 1990. Already famous as Adam Carrington on Dynasty, Thompson gave Mason a different shade: polished, wounded, intelligent, and often difficult to read. Born on March 2, 1945, he is still living, and by 2026, he is 81 years old. Rye. Gordon Thompson secretly battled severe alcoholism and a substance addiction that devastated his career, mental, and physical health during his final days of filming. A truly moving and inspiring detail for fans is Gordon Thompson's extraordinary courage. Instead of letting the dangerous addiction weaken his artistic spirit, he relied on immense inner strength to complete the final scenes while silently battling his inner demons. Miraculously, through a rigorous rehabilitation program, unwavering medical support, as of 2026, Gordon Thompson commands a well-deserved, hard-earned net worth of approximately $3 million. He guides his magnificent legacy with elegant, old-school simplicity, prioritizing a quiet, intellectual lifestyle and close artistic connections over a loud, flashy collection of modern supercars.